Hey, 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 friends, family, stalkers, you know which category you fit in. Don't forget to say hello, comment below, reply to me. Just say reply or answer a question or comment on anything you hear in today's live. I hope you can hear me. Last week's live did not work, but I did record it before. So I can always share the recording. So it's always better. I don't know. Last week's was better the first time we recorded it, which is what I ended up posting, than the second time. But it's the off cuff stuff that's fun. But this week's topic is what is in our food. Ugh, right? Maybe it's time to turn this off. Just kidding. Anyways, let me get my notes up here. So what is in our food? That is the question. I will definitely say there are a few things that I can say definitely changed my eating habits, especially during the early part of my healthy lifestyle journey. At the beginning, I thought chicken nuggets were fine. I thought, hey, these are protein. I thought chicken wings were fine. These are protein. I would say I ate a lot of those at the beginning of my journey, and I did see a difference in my body, but of course that plateaued at a certain point. But I also have learned now I wouldn't, well, I would eat chicken wings, but very rarely. Like, just the thought of it kind of grosses me out, honestly, so maybe not. I don't eat either. I know I can honestly say I haven't had chicken nuggets in a long, long, long time, but chicken wings, I want to say Super Bowl, not this Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls ago, I did have some chicken wings, but they are gross. They're just skin, like, ew. But anyways, one of the things that has been learned, that I learned through my healthy journey, is how twisted the food industry is. It's really twisted. I mean, think about it. The next time you go in the store, when you walk around, do you feel like you're being marketed to constantly? Do you feel like they're pushing stuff on you? They're like screaming at you, eat this, eat that, you know, using lingo that you resonate with. Probably it is. It's all the coloring, it's all the placement, all the music, I have to go in with a grocery list, because if I don't go in with a grocery list, I'm like, why am I here? And why am I feel this draw to go this direction. It's so funny. There is a lot of science there. So be careful, be cautious. Here's some questions that I had and maybe you have. First, why am I so addicted to processed foods? Why? Why is it that I crave it? Why am I addicted to it? Why does my body crave more of it? It's another question. Why do I feel so crappy after I eat it? And, you know, if you live a lifestyle of eating a lot of processed foods, you may not feel crappy after eating it. You may not realize that the fog that you are in is not what you could be feeling. You could be feeling amazing and incredible and have tons of energy. So if you're laying on the couch, taking a lot of naps, have foggy brain, it could have something to do with what you're eating. Possibly. Very likely. What causes obesity, right? That's a good question, right? COVID. That's a good answer. Just kidding. There's many reasons, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But the more I learn through my journey, and still learning, I'm ever learning. I love learning more and more and more about food, the body, the mind, how we work. It's incredible. But the more I learn, the easier it is for me to say personally no to processed foods. The more I know, the easier it is for me to say no. Like, I have these images in my mind, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I putting in my body? You know, a great topic is like the food coloring, you know, the red 40. Some of you, it seems like a lot of you knew about that in the group, but some of you may not. I feel like the ones that speak up are the ones that know about it, and the ones that don't know about it don't speak up. So I guess I could say the majority didn't speak up, so they probably didn't know. But bad for you and really harmful for your kids, so stop buying foods with red 40 in it. But plus, after cutting out foods, bad foods, processed foods, not really bad foods, hate labeling it that way, but processed foods, I realized when I cut those things out, I started feeling better, started feeling my best, right? When I removed them from my plate, removed them from my house, took them out of my environment, was exposed to them less. Eating better and feeling better became how I wanted to feel more of. I became almost hooked to that. Like, I like that feeling. I love that feeling of having energy and clear thoughts. Like, I feel like I'm not in tunnel vision anymore is probably the biggest way to describe it. I wanted to feel more energy. I wanted to stop feeling gross, tired, lazy, bloated, headaches, joint pain, Joint pain's a big one for me. So I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to have that sensation or that feeling gross. But the more I learned about food, the more confident I felt about my decisions, not only for myself, but for my family. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with, past, future, that are really, really focusing on themselves, and that's great, and that's fantastic, but they're making a second meal for their family, and I always question that. I'm like, why? But I will say for the first year of my journey, my meals were, everything on the plate was what I could consume except for one thing. I would cook one thing outside of what I would eat realm. And it took several months, almost a full year. And I started realizing more and more, they're not eating it. I'm throwing it all away. Why am I cooking this? And so I stopped buying it and stopped making it. So it was kind of a phased journey, but they saw me change and they wanted to change too. So it's got to be when they're ready and by their choice. Processed food is addictive. Processed food, or junk food as some of us may call it, is highly addictive and leads to behavioral effects such as overeating, eating compulsions, and loss of control. I think we've all know what all of those mean. Foods that stimulate an addictive response, well, it's going to be your sweets, stuff that's full of sugar. So your ice creams, your chocolates, things full of sweets and sugar. Also, salty carbohydrates would be the second category. You know, your potato chips. But more than anything, the foods that are the most addictive contain both, right? The sweets, the sugar, and the salty carbohydrates. So like your pizzas, your cookies, your cakes, they have a lot of the both ingredients. But overeating certain foods means your body has learned to crave food. So the more often you eat it, the more your body will crave it. Simple. Processed foods spike your blood sugar. So you're going to be constantly, it's like that caffeine addiction. You're always chasing that high, that caffeine high. You're wanting to stay at this level. Same with your blood sugar. You're chasing that high because it feels good. It's that energy. But you're not able to burn all that energy, but you're hijacking your brain chemistry as well, and you're messing up your hormones. You're going to cause long-term issues as well. Insulin resistance. Anybody heard of that term? If you don't know about it, you better look into it. Because you only have so much insulin. Once it runs out, guess what? You're going to be injecting yourself. Not fun. When these foods are readily available all around you, you see them throughout your day, compulsively eating them can turn into a habit, leading you to struggle with your weight and feeling sick. More and more sick. You're going to get sicker and sicker and sicker. Period. It's just the way it goes. Certain foods light up the pleasure center of your brain and trigger the release of the feel-good hormones, such as dopamine, much like other addictive substances do. In people who are predisposed to addictions, those chemicals can overpower other signals from the brain and tell them that they're full or satisfied. Okay, so which can cause a cycle of overeating over and over again. So your brain doesn't know it's full. It just like hardwires it. It like reroutes it and says, you can keep eating more. It's fine. Keep going. Yeah, not a good thing. So over time, these people may develop a tolerance to food that they're addicted to. They need to eat more and more and more and more to feel that same pleasure. Remember that dopamine hit, that feel good. I need more. I need more. And although they realize there's negative consequences, we all do. We know that. I don't really need to tell you why it's bad to be overweight. You know these things. Your doctor tells you, doesn't matter. Your spouse probably tells you, doesn't matter. You got to want to change it. You've got to really understand what it feels like to know that you're living healthy, happy, long, active, memorable, fun lives. You got to really feel into that and understand all the benefits, not the consequences, because that doesn't motivate anybody. So that's why it's important to discover what gives you dopamine, what gives you pleasure. Because whatever that is, that's what you need more of in your life. If you don't know what that is, we need to discover that. So why do I feel crappy after eating crappy? I thought that was a good title. Probably no different than someone that hasn't had alcohol for a while, right? Maybe somebody that's used to have 4 beers, right? 4 beers. They still were fine, whatever, but maybe they go a year without having any beers, and then they have 2, and they're like, whoa, this is hitting hard. Same thing, same concept. Your body signals are going to be stronger, louder, and you really should be listening to your body. Your body adapts to whatever you do consistently. Whatever you expose it to. It could be the sun, it could be exercise, it could be drinking water, eating healthy, even abuse, right? We get used to it. We adapt to everything that we get thrown at. So our body will adapt for a period of time until something new happens, and then it's like, whoa, so what's happening? The more healthy food you give your body, the more water you give it, the more it craves it. Trust me. And you will feel and see the results in time. Sometimes not right away. Sometimes it takes a while, but you got to be patient. I have a wellness app that offers 11 different nutritionally developed by a nutritionist. She developed them meal plans ranging 14 days to 28 days. But these plans cut out gluten or dairy. There's a variety of different plans that I can offer you. Some of them are even vegetarian, so cutting out proteins as well. But a lot of them are really healthy, whole food meals that allow you to remove the processed food out of your meal plans or your day for 14 days to 28 days. When you do this, and the first time you decide, let's go have some processed food, it's probably not what you say, but you will notice your body react. It will, and that's what you need to listen to, because it could be an intolerance, an allergy, or sensitivity. And in my opinion, it's really important, if you haven't, get some blood work done through your doctor. Find out what your food allergies and intolerances are. Following this guide, whatever it is, because it's unique and different for everyone, will make sure that your digestion tract lasts your lifetime. No one wants that to break down. So a food allergy is your immune system reacting. And usually it's a life-threatening reaction, so it's usually extreme. Like nut allergies are pretty common. Food intolerance is usually a reaction to food, but it could be simply just not having the proper enzymes in your body and your gut to process and break down and assimilate that food. So typically, if you can catch it early enough and change your diet, remove that food or move it for a period of time or forever, you can fix or address these issues. And oftentimes it's the foods that we love the most, sadly. But what causes obesity? These are my opinion, but what causes obesity is an imbalance between the calories consumed and the calories burned. Okay? Simple as that. Really simple. Obviously, the calories you consume need to be high quality, good food without a label. Food that you cook at home. And that's as simple as it is. It doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to have a name on it. It doesn't need to be a fad diet. It's real simple. There is a huge demand and increased need for high energy dense foods. For instance, restaurants are providing foods that the consumers are wanting. The consumers are buying, right? So here's an example. HelloFresh, I had it for 2 years. Box, they send you in a box that lands on your porch, 2 meals, 2 or 4, I don't know how many you can do. It's just 2 that I did, but 2 meals a week. But the options became worse and worse and worse. Like the dinners were like 2,000 calories just for a serving. And it was like crazy. Like, I don't know, it was really rich food. So I had to cancel them. But restaurants are doing the same thing. They're going with demand. They're going with what people are asking for them to serve. So menus are changing. Menus are shifting to what Americans are asking for. And portions are getting bigger. So that's an issue. A decrease in physical activity due to increasing sedentary work, right? How many of you are working from home, like still in your pajamas? Maybe you put a nice shirt on top, but you're in your pajamas down below. How many of you are in that state? So changing modes of transportation. Maybe you're driving, not even walking anymore, right? You're driving or not even going anywhere. You're sedentary. Technology and other inventions are being created to make us lazier. Our culture, we are becoming more and more interested in things that take less and less energy, and encouraging our friends and family to sit and play video games, not even talking, not even going for a walk or going and playing basketball or I don't know, whatever else, like get out and move your body. Marketing, right? We can't even get a quart of oil without being marketed to 20 times, asking us to buy soda and candy and junk food and billboards and driving by 20 different fast food joints. It's terrible out there. So here's the final message. You hold the power. We hold the power. We hold the power. That's my final message. We have a say in our food landscape. We have a say, we have a vote in what foods we are offered on menus, what foods are offered at HelloFresh. We have a vote. We have a say in these things by what we buy. So each time you walk in the grocery store, purchase clean food. You have a vote for a healthier food system and healthier policies. When you go to restaurants, ask for a healthy menu. I think what's the Cheesecake Factory has a whole different healthy menu. It's amazing. It's incredible. And there's a lot of really good things on there. But you have a vote. Order more healthy food, cleaner food. Stop going through the drive-thru. Start cooking your food at home. Make good, healthy choices. These are votes, right? So each time you drive through a drive-thru, you're making a vote. You're putting a vote out there. Ultimately, we are the ones who decide what we buy, what we put in our bodies, and how much we eat. So that's my message. Hi, Ron, if you're still on. Hi, Ron. Thank you. Thank you for saying hello. But I hope you enjoyed this message this week. I will be back next week. I think I'm going to take the week after that off. But as always, I enjoy tuning in, giving you my message, giving you my thoughts. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, please comment below. Let me know what you took away from this message. Thanks. Bye.